Greetings. Happy Friday to you. Um, you know, inspired conversations. I'm always, as always, watching the environment. I just don't say anything because it's not always necessary to speak. But since January, I've been watching everybody say, Black Americans, you're next. Black Americans, you're next. And nobody, most Black Americans' response is, we've always been first. Whatever regime or formulaic situation where their intent is to take out a group of people, that has always been us first. And so over these past months, it's had me thinking, like, why do they hate us so much? And I actually talked to somebody who was a gay white man, and that's fine. Or, hopefully I'm saying it right. And he was like, I'm afraid of my life now, and somebody might run up in my house. I said, well, I've never not thought that was a possibility for me, no matter who was in office. So, I would like to feel sympathy for you, but I kind of can't. And I know he was disheartened by my response, but at this point, I'm too old to not tell my truth, right? With that being said, what I've come to realize is that we were never supposed to live. We were not supposed to make it through slavery. Our ancestors were supposed to be dead. You don't enslave somebody, sell them, grape them, unalive them, pull them apart by horses, separate the families, make them work for free, and do this for hundreds and hundreds of years, and expect them to live to tell the story. You do horrible things to people in hopes that nobody can talk about it. You want to get away with your crimes, right? Crimes against humanity, really. But after hundreds and hundreds of years of that being done, we didn't die. And so humanity begins to set in. They keep living, even as a small percentage in America, 13%, I believe, Black Americans. They didn't die. We brought in people to replace them. They didn't go. We kept them out of homes, cities. We, built highways through cities that they built. We put them underwater. They didn't die. We've flooded their streets with drugs. They didn't die. We've sent their children to prison, straight to prison. They didn't die. We've taken their music and infiltrated it with filth and yuck, just junk. They didn't die. So now, what do? Because just the mere presence of these people, just the fact that they're living, means one or two things. It means that either they were here originally and they would be the original Native Americans or whatever, and we stole their land, or at least some of them would be, or we enslaved them and brought them here against their will. They had children. Those children lived to have more children and have more children, and nobody died. And the original sin in which America was born off of, created off the backs of free labor, of people who did not intend on even being here, brought over by ships, pooped on themselves, sleeping in fields, jumping out water, jumping off ships, killing themselves, just rather doing that than having to come over here and live in this way. That actually happened because they're here. That's proof that it happened. You don't do that with the intention of people living to tell the story. So we've never not been a target, because if we're here, then the original sin that America was created off of happened. And all the greatness, all the we're amazing, we're wonderful people, all of these lies are in fact untrue. So let's erase it from the museum. Let's do this. Let's do that. And those stories aren't half as brutal as what the truth is anyway. But that's the thing. Our mere existence means that America's original sin was really here. It really, really happened. And no matter what we do, like in what you call it, The Matrix, how John Smith, I loved that movie, the first one anyway. And he was like, you simply won't die. We simply won't die. And that is why there's always a target on the back of Black Americans. Because the only thing that can make it right is to either atone or kill. And they'd rather kill than atone. And that is why we are not afraid. Because we weren't supposed to make it anyway. And yet we did. So that's the only thing I can think of as being true as to why we are always under attack. Y'all be well and stay well. Peace.